Argumentative text, characteristics, types, and effective example.
An argumentative text is a piece of writing that seeks to persuade the reader through clear and coherent arguments. In this article, you will discover what an argumentative text is, its main characteristics, its structure, and practical examples. You will also learn how to refute counter-arguments to strengthen your position.
Key points. Argumentative texts aim to persuade the reader by clearly and coherently presenting a thesis supported by facts and evidence. A key feature of argumentative texts is the discussion of counter-arguments, which strengthens the author's position and demonstrates critical ability. There are various types of argumentative texts, such as essays, newspaper articles, and opinion letters, each adapted to specific contexts and objectives.
An argumentative text is a written composition whose main purpose is to present arguments clearly and coherently in order to persuade the reader. These texts are built around an initial thesis or premise which the author defends on the basis of facts and evidence. The intention is to express opinions, ideas, and positions on a particular topic with the aim of convincing the reader. Argumentation seeks not only to make a point, but also to make the reader agree with the position presented. It is crucial to keep the main premise in mind when writing an argumentative text. This premise will be the central axis of our whole argument. Argumentative texts are used in a wide variety of fields, such as journalism, science, law, philosophy, and advertising, dealing with a wide range of topics. From scientific articles in areas such as psychology and philosophy to legal texts such as judgments and appeals, argumentative texts are essential for effective and persuasive communication in many fields of knowledge and the creation of human-relevant content.
Characteristics of argumentative texts. Argumentative texts are distinguished by their ability to defend a specific position. To do so, they offer data and arguments that support the position defended, thus increasing the credibility of the message. The authority of the writer or the institution behind the text also plays a crucial role in persuading the reader. An essential feature of these texts is the consideration and discussion of counter-arguments to the position defended, as well as the inclusion of counter-arguments. This exercise of refutation not only strengthens the main argument, but also demonstrates the author's ability to deal critically and confidently with different perspectives. Finally, language in argumentative texts employs persuasive devices in order to share a point of view with the interlocutor. These devices seek to influence the reader's position. These resources include the use of logical connectors, rhetorical questions, and quotations of authority, which help to build a solid and convincing reasoning.
Argumentative text structure. The classic structure of an argumentative text is fundamental to its clarity and effectiveness. It consists of three essential parts: the introduction, the development, and the conclusion. Each of these parts has a specific function in the organization of the text. The structure of an essay consists of three main parts. Introduction aims to capture the reader's attention and present the thesis or position to be defended. Development. This is where the evidence, examples, and reasoning that support the thesis are presented. Conclusion summarizes the arguments presented and reinforces the author's position, providing a satisfactory conclusion.
Introduction. The introduction in an argumentative text acts as a letter of introduction, capturing the reader's attention from the outset. This is achieved through the use of resources such as punchy questions, relevant quotes, or surprising statistics. A good opening can include a question that arouses the reader's curiosity, an interesting fact, or a quote from an authoritative personality. The main purpose of the introduction is to establish the topic and make clear the thesis or position to be defended. This prepares the reader for the development of the text and provides a frame of reference for understanding the arguments that will follow.
Development. The development is the heart of the argumentative text, where the arguments that defend the thesis are presented and developed. Each paragraph in this section should contain a clear and direct idea that supports the thesis. Cohesion between paragraphs is essential to ensure a smooth reading flow, using smooth transitions to maintain the thread of the argument. It is also in the development that counter-arguments are refuted, demonstrating the strength of the author's position. This refutation strengthens the argument and shows a deep understanding of the subject matter. Further details on how to approach these arguments are presented below.
Conclusion. The conclusion is the last part of the argumentative text and aims to summarize the main ideas presented in the development, not introduce new ideas, reinforce points already discussed, leave a lasting impression on the reader. An effective conclusion can end with a provocative statement or a powerful quote that resonates with the reader. This helps to close the text in a powerful way and reinforces the thesis being made, establishing an emotional connection with the reader.
Types of argumentative texts. There are various types of argumentative texts, each with its own characteristics and uses. Among the most common are essays, newspaper articles, and opinion letters. Each type has its own approach and style, adapted to its specific purpose. Argumentative texts also include forms such as legal, advertising, and scientific texts, each with its own structure and aims. These texts are essential for communicating ideas and persuading in a variety of contexts, from courts of law to advertising campaigns.
Examples of argumentative texts are varied and cover different formats. A common example is a newspaper editorial, which argues for a position on a topical issue. Academic essays are also argumentative texts, which present a thesis and support it with evidence and arguments. Other examples include political speeches, letters to the editor, book and film reviews, blog articles. These examples demonstrate how arguments are developed and sustained to persuade the reader, applying the theories of argumentative texts. Understanding and learning from these varied examples helps to improve your ability to write effective argumentative texts.
Summary. In summary, argumentative texts are an essential tool for communicating and persuading in a variety of contexts, from definition and characteristics to structure and types of arguments. Each aspect is crucial to constructing a convincing and effective text. We hope this guide has provided you with a clear and practical understanding of how to write argumentative texts. Now, it's your turn to put this knowledge into practice and create texts that really make an impact on your readers.
Frequently asked questions. What is an argumentative text? An argumentative text is a written composition that seeks to persuade the reader by presenting clear and coherent arguments around a thesis or premise. In short, it is a type of text that seeks to convince the reader through solid arguments.
What are the main characteristics of an argumentative text? The main characteristics of an argumentative text are the defense of a particular position, the use of data and arguments supported by authorities, and the consideration of counter-arguments. It is important to maintain a clear and reasoned approach to argumentation.
What is the classic structure of an argumentative text? The classic structure of an argumentative text consists of introduction, development, and conclusion, presenting the thesis, stating the arguments, and reinforcing the thesis at the end.
What types of argumentative texts are there? There are different types of argumentative texts, such as essays, newspaper articles, opinion letters, legal, advertising, and scientific texts. All of these formats seek to persuade the reader of a point of view or argument.
What types of arguments are used in argumentative texts? Argumentative texts use rational, factual, exemplifying, authoritative, and emotional effective arguments to persuade the reader. It is important to keep these types of arguments in mind when writing an argumentative text.